Most of us on a twin flame journey who has a twin flame with a spouse. So there is some sort of a third party involved, and so many twin flames struggle with this idea that my twin flame is staying with somebody else, that person is in a marriage, and probably the other person is becoming some sort of a hindrance for our connection. So there is a lot of jealousy involved, there is a lot of trauma, restlessness, disappointment, hurt, because your twin flame is blocking you again and again because they are in their marriage. There are so many things which are related to this particular experience, that there is some sort of a third party involved in a twin flame connection, where you feel that your connection is disturbed or there is some sort of a hindrance because of this spouse that exists. So there is a lot to talk about this topic, but today I particularly want to talk about this trauma or a lot of confusion that many feminine twin flames are facing, the female twin flames are facing, because their twin flame's spouse is becoming some sort of a villain in their internal life. Even though on some level, at a soul level, you understand that it's not nice to be jealous about somebody. Their spouse is also a nice person, they are a good person. Why I have to feel negative about them? But somehow at times there are some pockets, emotional pockets, where you feel emotionally drained, you start thinking negative, you start having some sort of a negative scenarios playing in your mind, that how you will blame them, how you will give them back, how will you answer them back, or how that whole equation that they have with your twin flame will break someday. And then after you come out of that pocket, you feel guilty that I'm not this sort of a person, why I'm thinking bad about their spouse. There was somebody who was asking this particular question to me in the private sessions that I conduct, that how do I handle with this particular thing, because I don't want to keep playing these negative scenarios in my mind. How am I going to deal with his spouse? And I don't want to confront her, and if I call him, once she picked up and there was some sort of a bad conversation between us, and I don't understand how to deal with it. So there are two things: your soul that understands the bigger picture and willing to let go the jealousy, willing to forgive their spouse, or willing to understand the situation of the spouse as well. And then there is your human mind that is resenting, there is disappointment, or there is anger, there is a lot of expectation, and also at times helplessness and jealousy that you feel for their spouse. So, one thing I definitely want to share, very important over here, which I have applied in my journey. But before I tell you about that, welcome back to my channel, Awaken with Pradnya. All those who are watching newly on my channel, I welcome all of them. All those who want to consult with me on one-to-one sessions, I do conduct one-to-one sessions. Link of my website is given in the video description, and all the information that you need about me or my channel or the sessions that I conduct, everything you will get on my website. So the link is given into the description. Second thing is, I'm going to be in India from mid December to mid Jan, and I'm contemplating a few things. So I will keep you updated about it very soon. So, coming to my advice when it comes to um, having these scenarios playing on in your mind. First thing is, if at all there are any sort of a bad or negative emotions that you are feeling about your twin flame spouse, and you are trying to resist that because you don't want to carry that negative karma with you, first is, you need to accept all those negative emotions, and set this intention that whatever is human inside me, you are a human being in the physical body, you do have human emotions. So if you are feeling those human emotions, it is necessary for you to vent those emotions outside of your energy body. What we keep doing is, because we are feeling guilty of having those emotions, we are trying to again suppress those emotions back inside us, and we are carrying that heavy baggage all around, in our energy body. So we are exactly doing the opposite of what we are supposed to do. So, first thing is, if you are playing any sort of a negative scenario, for example, if she calls me, I'm going to tell her what she needs to hear, or whatever X, Y, Z that you want to say to her, or whatever allegations you want to put on her, or whatever it is. Even though it is a low vibrational emotion, somewhere I feel that you go ahead and complete that scenario in your head, because by imagining that scenario, by completing that negative scenario in your head, you are letting your emotions flow freely outside of you. So say whatever you want to say without feeling guilty, without having any sort of a resistance inside your heart. Once you complete that process, that you played out that scenario, you said whatever you wanted to say, I am sure that you will feel much lighter. And after that, after you are processing that scenario and acknowledging whatever negative emotions you had, then you set your intention that I was in my human self. I did whatever I felt as a human being in my imagination when that scenario played out. Now I'm again coming back to my integrity, and I acknowledge my emotions as a human being. I'm able to identify my emotions, and I'm setting this intention that I want to release all these emotions. So, on a soul level, I'm understanding the bigger picture, and I don't intend to hold any sort of a grudge or a negative feeling for his spouse. I do acknowledge that person as a soul coming through a specific soul journey, and I do understand what they are experiencing. So I um, embrace everything, negative and positive. Once you start doing this slowly and steadily, you will start releasing that baggage over a period of time. I can give my own example. When my twin flame passed away in 2021, till then I had not interacted with his wife. But after he passed, my very deep interaction started with her, and there were a lot of things which triggered her, as well as there were a lot of things that triggered me. And I went into this whole phase of having a lot of resentment and anger for her. Initially, I did not have any resentment and anger when I was not interacting with her. I always considered her as a good person who supported my twin flame as his life partner. But later, when many things were talked to each other, there was this whole, uh, you know, explosion of a lot of things. And I started processing a lot of deeper things when that confrontation happened. And I felt very helpless that I could have told him so many things, but just because there was this weird connection, or something, some policies that she was imposing on him, he was not able to express himself fully. And I have almost lost my chance in this physical life to actually uh, you know talk to him about it or whatever. So I felt hopeless, I felt helpless, I felt my chance was lost, and I was so, so, so angry with her. But uh, that time also, I used to resist a lot that no, I don't want to feel negative about her, because I'm adding so much baggage to myself, and I don't want to entangle in any sort of a karmic contract with anybody. But then slowly I started understanding that it's okay. Whatever is coming to me, it's a human part, and I need to acknowledge it. So I played so many scenarios in my head where I was, saying anything that I wish to her, making things, make her things understand in a very stern way. But I did it because it was imagination. In my real life, I didn't want to hurt her in any way, but I was carrying that burden on my shoulder that I don't want to hurt her, so I don't want to open my mouth or express my true feelings, what is coming in my heart. So in my waking life, I was holding back, but then in those scenarios that I was playing, or those scenarios were coming to me, I started venting out a lot to her in those scenarios. And somehow that whole process has really helped me to release so much that I was holding. And now I won't say that okay, I'm 100% there, that I released everything, that maybe there is some 2 to 5% still remaining, but most of it I have released. And this understanding that embrace your human self, embrace your human emotions, vent them out, make that way for your human emotions to purge, to get them out of your system, and at the same time become aware on a soul level that she also is a soul, she or he, and you embrace them as a soul, without holding any grudge. At least you intend to embrace them if you are not able to be at that place right now. So that's something which I feel is very, very important when it comes to involved third parties in a twin flame connection. That unless you are working on that entanglement that you have with the third person, you won't be able to release so many things. There is resentment, anger, jealousy, hatred, expectation, insecurity, fear of losing your twin flame, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, comparison. There are so many issues that are related to the third party. And unless and until you are completely able to process the third party issue from your full system, you will be holding all those issues in some or the other percentage, in some or the other way. So I feel this is absolutely important for all those twin flames who are on this journey and having this third party issue, dealing with this third party issue. So I hope this video helps all those who are struggling in this particular thing. If there is anything that you want to ask me when it comes to third party dealing, please comment in the description or the in the video comments. I would definitely make another video to explain another aspect. Sometimes it happens that the information comes to me when I read a certain question. I'm not a person who would just like that get information. Many times on Quora also, why I have received so much information, because I read the question. So receiving a question is a major, major positive trigger for me to receive downloads. So receiving questions for people is absolutely required for my downloads, and I do enjoy catering to everybody's questions. So all your questions are welcome. The more questions are there, the more empowered I feel, and the more empowered I can make you feel with my content. So that's all for today. See you in the next video. Namaste.